It's been over a month since devastating floods ravaged Bosnia and Herzegovina. 26 lives were tragically lost, most of them as families slept, unaware of the deluge that would soon bury their homes. Survivors recounted the terrifying night when they were awakened by a thundering rumble, running for their lives as their homes and belongings were swept away by water. The catastrophe struck hardest in the central and southern Bosnia, where torrential rain and winds were recorded. Yet, amid the grief, many believe some of those deaths could have been prevented. At the heart of the tragedy lies the troubling question: was the granite mine above Jablanica a hidden danger, dislodging debris that came down with the flood? Ada Mamunu explains.
This is the aftermath of the recent floods that struck Bosnia's southern and central areas, tragically killing at least 26 people last month. Torrential rains and winds hit 4 districts on the night of the 3rd of October and the following morning, destroying houses, roads and cutting off power to several villages. Donja Jablanica was the worst affected village, large parts of which were submerged after a barrage of rocks from a quarry in the hill above caused a landslide. It left at least 19 people dead. Survivors are grappling with the loss of life and extensive damage.
Tamo oko 1, pola 2, naišle su ogromne bujice, to su rijeke tekle. Nosile sve pred sobom, kamenja po par kubika, hiljade tona materijala je se slilo na naše selo. Uništeno je 10 kuća, ima poginuli, dozivali su cijelu noć u pomoć, mi nismo mogli pružati, nismo mogli iz kuće izaći, i mi smo se borili da spasimo kuću i sebe. To je bilo jezivo.
I was one of the first responders on the site. I spent a total of 9 days without breaks on the ground, providing relief and rescue service. After we received the call, we organized everything what we need for the situation of floods and started we go to Jablanica. And on the way to Jablanica, we realized that road is absolutely, it was amazing scene to see. There were landslides everywhere, maybe from 20 to 30 on the way from Konjic to Jablanica. It's like 20-30 minutes there. We had a lot of landslides. It was collapse of everything you can imagine.
Bahur Adin and his team continued their journey on foot to Jablanica, a place that holds deep significance for him as he has loved ones there.
Confusion was everywhere, and the people everywhere, and water, those plastic boats to try to find someone. Everyone there was asking for someone, from family to friends. For me, it was really stressed because I have a lot of friends from Jablanica. In that time, I tried to contact with them.
It's been reported that an investigation has been launched by authorities into the cause of the landslide. Investigators will try to determine whether a mine in a quarry built above the village played a role. In a great show of solidarity, the Balkan region came together to support those in need. The Bosnian government said Croatia, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Serbia, Slovenia, along with Turkey, sent teams or offered other forms of help. On her tour of 6 Balkan countries, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen visited Donja Jablanica and met the chairperson of the Council of Ministers, Borjana Kristo, Mountain Rescue Service members, and heads of several affected districts.
First and foremost, my thoughts are with the victims and the families and friends they left behind. What a horrible experience. Europe is by your side. Europe stands with you. And we're here not only for the short run, but also for the mid and long term, to help you, first of all, of course, to help immediately, but secondly, to reconstruct and rebuild after the disaster again.
Bosnia is not the only European country that's been battling floods recently. Spain is still reeling from historic flash floods, which caused more than 200 deaths and left dozens missing in the east of the country in early November. These events follow a summer of soaring temperatures across Europe. Scientists suggest that this disrupted the easy absorption of floodwaters, making the effects of the flooding even worse.
Climate change played a role in the intensity of the precipitation that led to the floods. So that's the main result, up to 7 millimeters per day, more precipitation than in the past.
As the COP29 conference takes place in Baku, Azerbaijan, attention is turning to bolstering financial assistance for crisis-ridden areas. It's a humbling reminder of the climate challenges facing the world and the need for governments to prepare for them.
We have a lot of problems in country without some rules to organize deforestation and everything. That's the big problem here in Bosnia. And with these rules, we can make to us better position in probably in our future.
For now, communities in Bosnia are beginning the long road to recovery, enabling residents to return to some semblance of normality. Adam Amunu, across the Balkans.
Let's cross now to Sarajevo. Leila Kusturica is there for us. She's an activist and the director of the Foundation Atelier for Community Transformation. Leila also spent a lot of time in the affected areas. Leila, first of all, how are the rescue efforts going and what are the immediate needs of these people?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for having us here. It's been over a month since we had floods. And when it happened, our team was there. Part of our activist group was trapped in a floods. Back then, immediate needs were psychological support and shelter for people when it comes to families and affected people. Right now, over a month later, needs are different. We need a faster process by our government in terms of providing recovery support to these local communities. Unfortunately, all activists from Buturović Polje, very close to Konjic, Zlate, very close to Jablanica, and Luke, close to Fojnica, they are letting us know that it's not going very well. It's going very slowly, and it seems that on the ground, nobody knows what they are doing. Unfortunately,
so you're saying that the officials in Bosnia didn't manage to get the situation under control. And we are here talking about what, 1 month later?
Absolutely. That's what our people living in these local communities are letting us know. There are some actions like cutting trees that are going on in a village Luke, in a riverbed. And people from local communities don't know who is doing what or why they are doing what. There was no comprehensive, transparent, strategic approach that was kind of told or shared with people in those local communities. We learned just recently that some private companies are cutting trees on private properties. Even the state of emergency was over on the 14th of October. People are asking why they are doing that, who organized that, who advised them to do so. So the feeling from people on the ground, but also us from across Bosnia and Herzegovina, is that just like there was no preventive actions taken before the floods, now seems like the recovery efforts are mirroring that kind of approach.
Echoing that, one woman said to local media, I've listened to that the other day, that she feels that she's left alone and that she fears if another rainfall arrives, what will be done then? The EU promised a lot of money. Ursula von der Leyen was there. Did any help reach these people? Can they expect some more funds to come and help them to sort their lives as they were before?
Well, we feel that EU support is crucial here. Our country and especially our politicians obviously need support in dealing with this catastrophe and the construction that happened. However, from what I learned from people on the ground, so far only Pomoziba, that's like our national association supporting people when we have some sort of emergencies, provided people with 5,000 km, and the money already reached their bank accounts. As for the state, I'll say government state efforts, there are commissions going around doing certain assessments, but so far nobody took people's bank accounts. This is what I learned from local communities I mentioned at the beginning.
So what do you think is the problem here, Leila? Seems to me that the situation is pretty chaotic.
Exactly, that's the word. It's chaotic, and maybe we can just mention how prior to 3rd of October, there was no any kind of state of alarming people that the floods were coming. However, 2 or 3 days later, when there was also by people, experts announced another possibility of floods, they went to local communities and they kind of preventively asked people to leave their houses. So we ask the question why the same thing was not done when we had first floods. We feel that state representatives on different levels of the government are accountable, and we cannot believe that nobody has resigned so far. There are many problems. I'll just state 3 problems that we activists who have been fighting for environment and kind of talking about these possibilities for the past couple of years, some of them over a decade. Entity of Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina does not have a forest law for almost 15 years. And all experts agreed, the ones that went to media and shared their opinions, that yes, we had severe rain, but it was poor government management of our natural resources that actually contributed to this size or the level of catastrophe. Some of them claim that we could have prevented a loss of lives had we done things properly.
Right, and also obviously many blame climate change for the devastation. It's not just Bosnia fighting the floods, but questions have also been raised about the mine, about this village of Donja Jablanica. I know you personally didn't go there, but that particular village had a highest death toll. So what do we know about this mine, and how did it impact the already catastrophic situation with the floods coming down from the hills and floodwaters coming down to this village?
We saw just a couple of days that people from that village protested. They stopped the road communication, saying that the recovery process was not going properly. Also, they stated that security assessment risks of continuation of life there was not done. I also know from activists who live close by there that nobody was arrested. We know that the Prime Minister of Federation of Bosnia and Herzegovina claimed on the day of floods that the system was just doing fine. Also, ACT is trying to start this or push for government of this entity to form a unified registry of all concession agreements in this part of the country. So we don't have that. We don't know who is exploiting our nature and and where. We just feel that someone should be held accountable, and we know how many lives were lost there. Someone should be arrested, you know. Unfortunately, they just said that they opened up the investigation and nothing is happening. But I can just announce that we activists will not leave it as it is. We will push for legal mechanisms and legal processes until someone will be held accountable for Donja Jablanica as well.
Leila, we'll definitely keep an eye on the investigation. We know the investigation has been launched into that mine, official investigation, so we'll keep an eye on that. I have 1 minute left. I do want to ask you to tell us the story that you heard there, to tell us where are these people now, where are they living, the ones that lost everything, the houses, their properties, their cars, just to share this, their story with us, because I believe many people in the region and here in Turkey would like to know what do they need the most and what's the situation at the moment with them now.
Unfortunately, what we need the most cannot help us. We cannot get help from others. We need our government to protect people, you know, to just behave on behalf of the people and not to try to cover their poor job that they unfortunately have been doing for the past 30 years. And I can just share the solidarity that we saw among ordinary people who self-organized from across the region, from Serbia, Croatia, other parts of Bosnia and Herzegovina, coming to affected areas and giving money, support, their solidarity, which meant a lot. And I heard people saying, we went through so many catastrophes in Bosnia and Herzegovina and so much sadness. They shared that they've never seen such a level of solidarity coming from ordinary people to ordinary people. Now we have to channel that energy toward our government and make them do their job, which means a proper organized exploitation in a way that they should not let bad investors, exploit our nature. That they should organize our nature resources in a proper way.
Leila Kusturica, pleasure to have you on Across the Balkans. And thank you for watching this episode. See you next time. Bye-bye for now.